Remember hearing all those sweet nursery rhymes when your parents were trying to put you to bed at night? Well, I bet you didn't know a ton of them have really freaky backstories. I'm your host Makayla, and today we are talking about the top 10 nursery rhymes with dark origins, and make sure to hit that like button because it really helps us out and lets us know that you're enjoying our content. But without further ado, let's get started. Starting off this countdown with number 10, Mary, Quite Contrary. This one is perhaps the bloodiest and not surprising. It's about Queen Mary I of England, whose routine executions of Protestants and fascination with torture techniques earned her the nickname Bloody Mary. Silver bells was also a torture device meant to crush someone's thumb, and cockle shells were meant for crushing one's private parts. Contrary is also a way to describe a psychopath who often executes people.
Mary, quite contrary. How does a garden grow with silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row?
Number 9, Jack and Jill. This nursery rhyme's origins aren't as clean-cut as you probably imagined. One of the most common theories surrounding the story's origin is that it's about France's Louis XVI and his wife Mary Antoinette, who were both found guilty of treason and subsequently executed by beheading. The only problem is that those events occurred nearly 30 years after Jack and Jill was first written. The more likely possibility is that it's an account of King Charles I's attempt to reform the tax on liquid measures. When Parliament rejected his suggestion, he instead made sure that the volume was reduced to half and quarter pints known as Jacks and Jills.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Up got Jack and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed and bound his head with vinegar and brown paper. With vinegar and brown paper.
Number 8, It's Raining, It's Pouring. The sweet little rhyme you used to sing when it was raining outside and wanted to go play outside actually has a disturbing truth behind it. The dark part of this one refers to the end of the rhyme when it says he bumped his head and when he went to bed he couldn't get up in the morning, meaning he couldn't get up in the morning because he hit his head and passed away.
It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. He went to bed and bumped his head and couldn't get up in the morning.
Number 7, Peter Pumpkin Eater. Peter Pumpkin Eater had a wife but couldn't keep her. He put her in a pumpkin shell and there he kept her very well. Among many versions, the following stands out from the rest. The pumpkin is a metaphor for the woman's private parts. The husband tried to pleasure her but wasn't able to satisfy, so she went to other men. To prevent that, he actually put a chastity belt on her, and so he lived happily ever after, but not so much her.
Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and could not keep her. He put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well.
Number 6, Enny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. No, there's nothing particularly inflammatory about the lines Enny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, catch a tiger by his toe. But there is when you consider that the word tiger is a relatively new development in this counting rhyme as a replacement for the N-word. Even with the lyrical stitch-out, any reference to the poem still has the ability to offend people.
Enny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Enny, Meeny, Miny, Mo.
Halfway at number 5, Humpty Dumpty. We all know that Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall and somehow lost his balance and had a great fall. It's one of the first nursery rhymes you learn, and it seems to date back to 1797. And there are a few theories as to the meaning behind the rhyme or riddle, both being some war from many years ago. Like the idea that the kings fell off their horses during war and were cut up by swords.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
Number 4, Baa Black Sheep. Though most scholars agree that Baa Black Sheep is about the Great Custom, a tax on wool that was introduced in 1275, its use of the color black and the word master led some to wonder whether there was a racial message at its center. Its political correctness was called into question yet again in the later part of the 20th century, with some schools banning it from being repeated in classrooms and others simply switching out the word black for something deemed less offensive. In 2011, news.com.au reported on the proliferation of Baa rainbow sheep as an alternative.
Ba ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags full. 1 for my master and 1 for my dame, and 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane.
Now at number 3, Rockabye Baby. One interpretation of this famous lullaby is that it is about the son of the King James II of England and Mary of Modena. It is widely believed that the boy was not their son at all, but a child who was brought into the birthing room and passed off as their own in order to ensure a Roman Catholic heir to the throne.
Rockabye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
Number 2, London Bridge is falling down. In 2006, Fergie or Sarah Ferguson got saucy with some of this classic kid tunes lyrics, but the original song wasn't much better. Depending on who you ask, London Bridge is falling down could be about a 1014 Viking attack, child sacrifice, or the normal deterioration of an old bridge. But the most popular theory seems to be the first one. More specifically, the alleged destruction of London Bridge at the hands of Olaf II of Norway sometime in the early 1000s. Alleged because some historians don't believe the attack ever took place. The song's popularity around the world is often cited as further proof that it was the Vikings who created it.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down.
Believing that they brought the tune to the many places they traveled. Oh, and that whole child sacrifice thing, that's an idea that is also often debated. The theory goes that in order to keep London Bridge upright, its builders believe that it must be built on a foundation of human sacrifice, and that those same humans, mostly children, would help to watch over the bridge and maintain its sturdiness.
Falling down, London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
Now coming in at number 1, Ring Around the Rosie. Though its lyrics and even its title have gone through some changes over the years, it's said that the song refers to the 1665 Great Plague of London. The Rosie is the rash that covered the sick, the smell from which they attempted to cover up with a pocket full of posies. The plague took the lives of nearly 15% of the country's population, which makes the final verse, ashes, ashes, we all fall down, rather self-explanatory. The people who passed away from the sickness were burned to help lower the smell in the towns, hence the word ashes, and falling down as in passing away, of course.
Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
And that was the top 10 nursery rhymes with dark origins. Let us know what you thought about this video in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe as well, and we will see you next time.